Guys, listen, midweek games for me. I can't be in my fancy studio doing the videos that I normally do, but I couldn't not record something tonight because what we've witnessed tonight comes as absolutely no surprise to anyone, in my opinion. I don't think anyone's shocked after shipping 4 to Bournemouth. But with the likes of Bueno and Dawson back in that back line, you just think there's going to be more defensive solidity. But for some reason, Lemina's still in that back line. Don't ask me why, but he still is. Start with what the teams looked like. We started as a 5-4-1. Sarr in goal, 8 Nori, and Doherty on the sides. Bruno, Dawson, and Lemina as a back three. And then a midfield 4 with Cunha and Guedes either side of Gomez and Andre, and Larson up front on his own as a number 9. And I can't tell you how boring we were to watch. We seemed to make things happen. Let's be honest, we did make things happen. We looked fairly positive in the first few minutes, but it just looked as though we weren't gelling. We weren't gelling at all. And we just looked defensively shaky. We couldn't stop them from creating chances or getting into areas of threat. And even when we did, we gave away silly fouls. One of those silly fouls ended up in a free kick for Ashley Young, and I don't even know what our wall's there for. We may as well not even bothered having a wall. Like, what is the point? 0 point in having a wall there. And then Jose Sarr, after last week, you'd think he'd have a bit about him. You know, I would have thought it would have lit a fire under his arse. It didn't. He's exactly the same, and this is why this manager has to go, because his decision making when choosing teams is awful. Putting Lemina in the back again after what happened last time. I understand we've got, defenders out at the moment, but it just screams to me like he hasn't got a clue. He hasn't got a clue. Putting Sarr back in the net. Why? Why would you put Sarr in the back of the net, right, when literally we bought a goalkeeper for 10 million and Sarr has an absolute mare in one game, and then in the next game you just let him play again? He could not get to his far post, and it's the easiest free kick I think I've ever seen someone score. Like, it looked like he just tapped it in. It just floated in, and no one challenged it, and Sarr was nowhere near it. It was a bit of brilliance from Ashley Young, I suppose, but at the same time, come on, man. Like, we made Ashley Young look like Zidane today. We've made Ashley Young, who's older than me, look like Zidane today. That's 10 minutes in, by the way. 1-0 down. They then have a goal disallowed, which to me, I actually thought it was a goal. I'm going to be honest. Everton fans are watching. Don't know what VAR's there for, to be honest. To me, it looked like a clear goal. I couldn't see why they ruled it out, just because someone was offside holding back one of our defenders who was never going to get there anyway. It just doesn't make sense to me. It's just killing the game. But anyway, it doesn't even matter. It didn't even matter. You could have disallowed 4 goals today, and they still would have scored four more anyway. They had it in the back of the net 2 more times than they actually ended up having like actual goals. Anyway, the Mangala goal. If you could believe it, we just conceded from a free kick. 33 minutes in, what happens? We concede to another free kick. Um, this time, you know, defenders just all over the place. No one knows who they're marking. No one knows where to be. Are we zonal? What are we doing? Like Dawson is supposed to be the bloke that's going, right, lads, come on, get our show together. He looks so lost at the moment, Dawson, man. He looks like one more game, one more loss away from retirement. Do you know what I mean? Absolute ridiculous. Anyway, so the ball gets lofted in, no one deals with it. It then gets ricocheted into Mangala's path, and it's a good finish, to be fair. But Sars still gets absolutely nowhere near it, and it's 2-0. Could have been 3, should have been 3, in my opinion. We go in at half time, 2-0 down. Wolves at this point, had they even showed anything really? 2 shots on target. 2 shots on target the whole game, by the way. 2 shots on target the whole game. Oh, God. Anyway, so we go in at half-time 2-0, and it doesn't even look remotely like we have any chance in getting back in this game at all. Like, the players look defeated. Everyone looks deflated. They just want to go home and get Christmas started. Do you know what I mean? They just want to get the turkey based. They just want to get the stockings on the bloody fireplace. None of them today on that pitch gave 2 shits about this football club. None of them. Literally. They may as well have all been running around in Santa costumes and elf costumes. That's how much they looked like they were ready for the holiday. Absolutely disgusting. Anyway, that's half time. At half time, I'm already thinking it's game over. At half time, I'm already thinking I'd going into that dressing room and just being like, right, Gaffer, see you later. Do you know what I mean? Bye. See you later. You get your P45 out, son. We'll get anyone in at this point. Anyone who can at least let us defend. Because we are absolutely, categorically the worst team in the league for defending. Everton, before this game, hadn't scored. This is the most they've ever scored in a Premier League fixture in like ages. I don't have the actual stat on me, but that is just it can't happen. It can't happen. Everton now have a game against Liverpool. They have a Merseyside derby, and you just thought in this game maybe they'll have one eye on that Merseyside derby, and Wolves could literally just coast to a comfortable victory, or at least get a point away from home. But no, we got absolutely dominated by Everton, who have barely scored all season, and they've let 4 in. Maybe they need Dawson up front, because Dawson scored 2 own goals today. After being absolutely shocking in the last game when he came on and looked like he had Alzheimer's and didn't even know who anybody was and probably didn't even know his own bloody name, you bring him on, you actually start him in this game, and then he scores 2 own goals. Cracking goals, by the way. Great finish on both of them. Fantastic finishes. He was shocking today. Honestly, that's the worst I've ever seen Craig Dawson in a Wolves shirt. Like I said earlier, this actually could spell his retirement. Genuinely. Like, it was that bad. He might be going home and thinking, you know what, I'm gonna have to like be a pundit or some shit, because it don't look like I'm gonna be a football much longer. I'm gonna have to flip burgers. It was just shocking. Anyway, second half, you think Wolves are gonna come out the gates with a little bit of fire in the bellies. playing for the manager. It was the worst performance ever, guys, honestly. Even from the second half, we were absolutely shocking again. There was just no fight. You're 2-0 down, and there's just no fight whatsoever. Even when we're going forward, it just looks like it's clueless. Pass the ball to Cunha and hope for the best. That's what we've become. Pass the ball to Cunha and hope he does something magical. And sometimes that's paid off. But when it doesn't, no one else knows what to do. Absolutely shocking. So we let in an own goal from Dawson in the 49th minute. I mean, it's just ridiculous. How do you think they score this goal? So they've scored 2 goals so far from set pieces. You go in at half time. What do you not want to concede by? Set pieces. What do we concede by in the 49th minute? A bloody corner, a set piece. That's 3 set pieces in a bloody row. You may as well just give them a penalty because they scored 3 of them last game. So you may as well just give them penalties for the rest of the season, because anywhere near a cross going into our box, it's a goal anyway. Do you know what I mean? Before you've even drawn the line to put the wall along the pitch, just don't even bother. Do you know what I mean? Reach into your other pocket instead of getting that spray can, ref. Get your whistle, blow your whistle, and say they've scored a goal, because that is essentially what it is now. The inevitable is inevitable. Anyway, Dawson thought, you know what? I'm gonna get another one, and in the 72nd minute, he scores another own goal. And I've never seen Calvert-Lewin so happy in all my life. The only time I've ever seen Calvert-Lewin that happy is when he's modelling. I've not seen him that happy on a football pitch for a very long time. Fair bloody play to him. He's in the right areas to cause havoc and whatever for those 2 own goals. A lot of that come down to him being in decent positions. So you know what? I'm not even going to banter him. Why should I banter against an Everton player when they've scored 4 against Wolves today? I don't give a shit. I couldn't give a shit. I could meme till the cows come home about how Calvert-Lewin has, the worst fashion sense known to man. I couldn't give a shit at this point. He could wear literally a onesie with cartoon shits all over it at this point, and he'd still be banging goals against Wolves, or at least creating opportunities for our players to just kamikaze themselves in the nets. Jesus Christ, man. Anyway, you think at 4-0, you'd think that we'd start to do something. Guys, we didn't do anything in this game. Nothing. It was a training match for Everton today. A training match. They should all be absolutely ashamed of themselves. From going from a Bournemouth defeat when you ship 4 to Everton defeat where you ship 4 and don't even score a single goal. You don't even score a single goal today. So there's no pluses, there's no positives in the Bournemouth game. Oh my bloody God, look at that. Strand Larson scoring some crackers. Where's the positives in this one? I'll tell you where the positive is. Look at the title of this video. Look at the title of this video. I'll get myself out of the way so you can see it again. Get gone. Thank you very much for Albion away. Thank you very much for the double against Chelsea and the double against Spurs. But I tell you what, you are out of your depth, my friend. Out of your depth. You need to leave. You need to go to a club in the Championship. You might as well stay with us, actually, because we're going to the Championship anyway. So you might as well stay with us. Maybe that's Jeff Shee's plan all along. Maybe that's Jeff Shee's plan all along. Give us a manager that's going to flourish in the Championship. Where do we even go from here, guys? Please let me know in the comments where we go from here, because I ain't got a clue. I looked at the fixtures, I was like, right, okay, there's some games in there where we could definitely get some points. How wrong was I? How wrong could you actually be? Our next game is against West Ham. That is the El Sacco. If Julian Lopetegui and Gary O'Neill both stay in their respective teams, and that game happens and goes ahead, I'm telling you now, whoever loses that game gets sacked. In reality, both of them should go. Julian Lopetegui is dreadful. We said this to West Ham fans forever, and none of them listened. Got rid of David Moyes. I'd have David Moyes now. Now. This second, right now. David Moyes, get in this football club. I couldn't give a shit. It was like, oh, he's a dinosaur manager, man. Like, we need to look good. No, we don't. We stay in the Premier League and win football matches, or don't concede 4 every single game. What the fuck are you even saying? What? You don't want a manager that got West Ham to Europe and won a trophy. You'd rather have Gary O'Neill, who kept Bournemouth up and somehow is still here after being demolished by Brentford. You'd rather have him here, would you? Great stuff. That says all you need to know about this football club. But you'd rather have Gary O'Neill here because he offers you a little bit of a show. Because, you know, we either ship goals or score goals for fun. Not for me. We need now someone who's gonna get this team being a solid unit and maybe scoring one here and there every now and then. We need to be a solid team that's hard to break down, because at the moment there's no digestive system to this football club, guys. Easy to break down. No digestive system whatsoever. No intestines whatsoever. Just a gob straight into the arsehole and shat into a toilet. No digestive system. No fucking breakdown at all. You literally, it's just the most easy, generic piece of shit defending that you will ever see in your life. It's literally like sticking your 4-year-old brother on FIFA and telling him to defend. That is what it sounds like now. That's what it seems and looks like every time we play. It's like someone has got a controller who is literally an infant and can barely spell, and it's up to them to defend our goals. That's what it feels like now. It's an absolute joke how this manager is still here after all this time. What are we waiting for? What have we been waiting for since Brentford? Everyone in these comments now, right? Everyone in these comments, look back at some of the videos when we won these games, when we were glossing over this manager. Look at the comments. The real ones were still saying gone out. And I was being an absolute idiot and thinking that, you know what? What are they talking about? What are they on about? We've won a game against Fulham. We won a game against Fulham because one of their players got sent off and Cunha went on a Madden, right? We drew to Brighton because of just individual brilliance from Doyle, who, by the way, can someone send out a missing request form for Doyle? Could someone go to the police and please file a missing person form for this guy? Because where in the fuck is he? Where is he? He's had some absolute brilliant games in that midfield recently. And now you've got Andre and Joe Gomez, who basically the same fucking player. They're the same player. And then you've got Lamina in that system because he's your captain. So you've got to fit him somewhere. So like an actual child actual child, you try and stick a sphere, like a fucking round object into a square hole because you're like, well, I've got a circle, need to put it somewhere. Meh. The managers needs to go. And while you're at it, get rid of our owners because we wouldn't be anywhere near in this position if it wasn't for Jeff Shee skimping out on players that we actually need. Yes, Kilman's dross, and let's go into that. Literally, just get into it now. Why not? Kilman is still shit. Look at all the reviews back in the day when Kilman was in this team. Every single time I said Kilman was costing us. So when we sold him, I was buzzing, and I'm still buzzing now. But if you do sell a defender, you replace him with one, and we haven't done it. We haven't done it. So now we're literally trying to fit Lamina as a defender instead of bringing Totti on, who is actually a defender. Are you okay, Gary? Are you okay, son? Someone needs to check on his mental stability, seriously, because how do you still play Lamina in the back? How do you still play Sarr in the net after not saving 3 penalties and creating 2? Are we just trying to break all of the negative rules in Premier League history? Are we just trying to do that? Maybe that's what it is. Let's go through the lineup and let me rate these fuckers. Dawson, retire, son. Retirement. It's calling. The retirement home is calling, mate. They're saying, get in here. You're a danger to yourself and others. Get him in. You know what I mean? He needs blokes. He needs kids, right? He needs kids to help him along the bloody street now. That's how far gone he is. So he's got a 3 here. It's a 1 because he learned how because he put his uniform on right. That's it, and his socks weren't dirty. That's it. 1. Saw 1. How he gets a 5 is beyond me. 1. Couldn't catch a cold during COVID. Why can't he catch? Why is it every time Saar is attempting to catch a ball in the air, it looks the most awkward thing you've ever seen in your entire life? It looks so awkward every time. He cannot catch a ball. Santi Bueno, so bad, he actually came off. Awful. 8 Nori. Again. Just why is it our it doesn't matter if we play a back 5 or a back 4. Why is it our defenders think they need to go so high up the pitch all of the time? This is obviously a manager thing, clearly. I get it. But after a bit, you just go, you know what? Nah, I ain't doing that because he's costing us goals left, right, and centre. Him, I'll tell you what, Doc on here has got 6.5 and 8 we've got 6.8. That's a load of bollocks. Doc, 7, best player we had today, the one going forward, the one doing the work, defending well, putting in decent balls. A good few times he got his head to a couple of tricky passes, and it led to some threatening situations. He was probably the only one giving a shit. You know why? Because he knows he's still going to be here in the Championship when all these other fuckers are going to go across seas or into other Premier League sides. None of them give a shit. So that's why Doc is playing out of his boots, because he don't want to retire. So he'll play in the Championship and make, you know what? Fuck off, thumb. That's doing my head in, that is. Anyway, Lemina. Why the fuck? I've said it thousands of times. Why is Lemina in a back 4 or 5? He's not a defender. Just because it worked once doesn't mean you've got to do it over and over again until it works again. If it doesn't work the second time you do it, don't do it again. It clearly was a one-off. It clearly was a one-off. After the Bournemouth performance, how is that fucker getting in our back line? How? Andre and Gomez. Andre had a better game today. I've got to be honest. He had a better game today. 7. And João Gomez was doing his bit to try and get forward. I don't think the midfield was that bad today. It's just the defence let us down again. Cunha and Guedes, both 6, both of them. Just when the going gets tough, these so-called elite players that score goals for fun when things are going well, they go in hiding, man. Do you know what I mean? They turn into VPNs. All of a sudden, VPN mode activates and you can't find them. And then you've got Larson up top, who, I can't really say anything about him because he had no service the whole game. Do you know what I mean? Like a Nokia 3210 in, if scaling the on an Everest mountain, no service whatsoever, just shit. So I can't really say much about it because there was times where he was bullying players into doing his best. That's what I like about Larson. He gets stuck in, he does his best, but best wasn't good enough today. Absolutely was not. And they're some of the lowest scores I've ever given for a Wolves player. Everyone calls me a happy clapper. I am very much not a happy clapper. When things happen like this, where you've got to make a decision now. Do we get rid of this manager and get someone in who's going to at least give us some defensive stability and try and just, plan the great escape out of this bottom 3? Or do you just leave him so that we've got a decent manager for the Championship? That's the options. Because if we keep gone, we're out. We're gone. Clue's in the fucking name. I mean, he wears it on his chest. Gone. Guys, I don't even care today about swearing. I really don't. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna not express how I feel and be fake on camera and just not express how I feel. I'm expressing how I feel right now after seeing that dross. And if you don't feel how I'm feeling right now, then 1, I'm jealous, and 2, you're not a Wolves fan. You need to be thinking now, we need to start panicking now. Do you know what I mean? We've reached a level now where the panic stations will, it's activated. The siren is going off and the bombs are falling. And we're all just like scurrying around like fucking cockroaches. Hopefully, one of us lives to tell the tale. That's how it feels. Doesn't feel like there's any plan. It just feels like, oh, what's that? That's the inevitable storm that's going to take us fucking away. Bring it on. That's what it feels like. We're not tackling the issue. We're just allowing it to happen and not learning from it. We're not learning from it. Anyway, guys, let us know what you think in the comments. Sorry I couldn't do a proper video today. but I had to do something to get this off my chest because I mean, I went out for a nice meal today, you know, and I'm glad I did because if I had to watch that at home, man, I'd have gone insane. So at least I had some good company and some good food. Oh, like the video, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Ring that notification bell. I'll see you for the El Saco game. Gone out.